Hey guys, this is Neil over at Heart of Texas Armory again, and today I got another optic review for your AR-15. I got this optic in today, and I've used these in the past, and I just wanted to, since I had one here at the shop, I wanted to do a video overview and review of it. But what you see is the Burris AR-536 Prism sight. And the main thing to mention with this is that it, like the name suggests, is a prism or prismatic sight or scope. And the main advantage to that, in my opinion, is with people with astigmatisms. So if you have trouble, seeing red dots or particularly reflex sights, like I actually have an astigmatism, and I can't really see the EOTech reticle very crisp. It's always been blurry or skewed for me. This is a great option. The prismatic scopes are going to correct all those problems. You're going to see this reticle just as crisp as can be. I have noticed, recently that some of the newer red dots, like the Holosuns, the SIG, and Vortex, and a few others, have corrected that problem where now the reticle comes out as crisp as can be with that LED technology. But if you have trouble seeing red dots, this is definitely a good option. So this thing is going to give you a 5x magnification, which is nice. That's going to be kind of an all-purpose magnification. It's going to do everything from your close range out to, say, mid to mid-long range shots. And what I mean by that is with the 5.56 rifle, maybe out to 200-300 yards, you should be able to hit. Depending on your eyesight, of course, 200-300 is pushing it, but it can be done with this 5X. 100 yards, this thing is amazing. You can just ring steel all day at 100 yards with this. Big upgrade over a red dot at 100 yards, in my opinion. You can still do it with a red dot, but this is going to make it easier for you. So let's quickly kind of show you the optic. I'll kind of just show you this side, and we'll rotate it around to the other, front and back. A couple things I want to mention before we look at the box here and the paperwork. I really like their the way this attaches to a Picatinny rail. They provide you with the full length bar that grips onto your AR-15 upper. That makes it really lock solidly to the rifle. It's not quick release, so you do have these kind of oversized locking, rotating nuts here. But with that bar being that large, it really grabs on. So you can just hand tighten this, and it holds pretty tight. I would recommend you hand tighten it and then maybe put a wrench, or they've got little holes. I don't know if you can see that here. There you go, right there. That you could put like an Allen key or something and just crank it down, maybe another half turn, and it'll hold tight then. You'll see it has these Picatinny sections here that they've mounted onto the body of the scope. You can actually remove them with that screw. Is that Allen or Torx? Looks like it's Allen. So you can actually remove those. But those are there for if you wanted to attach, say, another red dot on top of it. Like the Burris makes a Fast Fire 3. It's a really small red dot, and that would be pretty cool on this. Since this is a 5X sight, having that red dot makes it would make it really useful for really close stuff like home defense situation, for instance. And you can also mount like a lighter laser, of course, on there. But let me set the scope aside for just a second, and we'll look at the box here. So here's the front of the box. You'll see the information there. There's a look at the reticle, and we'll show that in more detail when I pull out the manual. It's a really excellent reticle. You will see, you got red, green, and then black. Black is going to be when the illumination is off, because your reticle is actually etched in the glass. So let me just quickly explain to you. I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth here between the box and the optic. But a prism sight, how it works. Over a red dot or a reflex sight, those are going to be projected images through a series of mirrors. The number of those mirrors varies on the type of optic it is, but you're going to have mirrors, and what that happens is that's why you have trouble seeing those with when you have an astigmatism. This is going to behave more similar to a traditional rifle, hunting scope. So it's just a magnified lens in here, no mirrors. So light can pass directly through right into your eye. That 5X is going to be done with the lens up in this section here, but there's no mirrors or anything like that that's going to distort the image if you have an astigmatism. So that's why the prism sights are a good option for people that can't see the red dots. We'll quickly show some more information here. So here's this side of the box. You'll see the information there. We'll flip it this way and let you read this section. Sorry about the glare on the box. It is kind of a glossy box, and the lighting is messing it up here, but hopefully you can read it. Now we'll flip to this side, and I believe that's all the information. So we'll slide the cover off that thing. It just slides right off. And we'll take a look inside the box here, open it up, get our foam out of the way. There's our manual. We'll look at that closer here in a second. You got a cleaning cloth, which is nice. That's the bag that the optic comes wrapped in. And then this here is a shade shield or sun shield. And you just attach that onto the optic. We'll look at that in a minute too. And there's an Allen key, and I think that's it. All right, so we'll set the optic there. We'll get our manual, set our little sunshade there. So in the manual, it's not real detailed, but it's a solid manual. It's got some really cool information, and I'll let you take a look at this section if you want to pause it and read that. Worth noting here, waterproof, shockproof, fog-proof, which is great. This is a 5x magnified optic, fixed magnification, so it's going to be extremely durable. In fact, probably more durable than variable power scopes, just because there's less moving parts. All right, we'll open it up here. You'll see the battery replacement stuff here, information. So it's a CR2032 lithium battery, which is nice. Those are easy to find. They claim 200 hours of life at the highest power setting when it's on, and then 500 hours at the medium setting. So that's decent battery life. Again, this is a etched reticle, so when you don't need the illumination, or if you have the optic off, you're still going to see that reticle. And I'll show you that here in a little bit. Okay, there's some information on mounting to Picatinny rail. That's all basic information, carry handle, blah, blah, blah. The sight does have a diopter adjustment ring, so you can get it in focus for your eye. So that's nice that they do provide that. There's sighting in, that's all just basic information, but this is what I really wanted to show. So first off, let's look at the warranty. Burris calls it their forever warranty, no questions asked. That's excellent warranty. Burris has good customer service. They will warranty replace burnt optic if it's damaged or defective. Warranty is automatically transferred to future owners, so that's cool. You don't have to have a receipt or anything. You can see all that. No repair, replacement charge, no warranty card needed, no receipt needed, no questions asked. Good stuff, Burris. I like that. But here's the stuff I really want to show. So you can see the information here that's worth looking at. Your eye relief here, 2.5 to 3 inches. So that's not bad for a scope like this. I would have preferred a little more, but it's still solid. Here's your adjustment on your windage and elevation. So it's a 1/3 MOA per click. So that's not bad. Max adjustment in MOA is 70 MOA, so that's pretty good. Here's your weight. They claim 18.75 ounces. I weighed it with the caps, flip-up caps, and I got 19.3. Your length is going to be 5.8 inches, around 6 inches, basically, and then there's your battery life again. But here's what I really want to show. I want to show this reticle here. Let me see if I can bring it a little closer without getting it too messed up looking. But there we go. So this, so obviously you can see you got green, red, or black when it's off, black. But this type of reticle is very, very useful. You got a lot of stuff in here that you can use. You may never even use this stuff, but it's there if you do. The main thing that this thing can do is your bullet drop. So you have dots, that's going to be 0 to 100. 200 is going to be at the bottom of the dot, and then you'll see 300 is the next dot, 400, 500, and 600 is this dot here in the outside ring. And then the rest of the stuff is going to be useful for, sorry I'm moving this around too much, useful for sizing things up. So you can see, like for instance, this measurement here, between that line and that line, they say is 5 mil, which equals 18 inches at 100 yards. So that right there at 100 yards, if you find something that fits in there, it's 18 inches basically. And then you have other ways to check your measurements. So you can see the outside ring is 9 mil or 32.4 inches. The inside diameter ring is 7 mil, 20.2 inches at 100 yards. And then there's some other measurements you can just take a look at here. I'll try to bring it up close and see if it'll focus. That way you can kind of, there you go. You can pause the video and look at those settings there if you want to. But that's a lot of information. I really like that they give you that explanation. It makes it easy for new shooters. But like I said, you may not use all those, but it's cool that they give them to you. I really like that this optic is kind of basically set up. It's a powerhouse at 100 yards. You can obviously shoot out to 600 yards with those bullet drops, but with that 5X, man, you can just ring steel all day at 100 yards. To me, that's what this is designed for. Mid-range, you know, close quarters and close range, you can do it, but that 5X is a little cumbersome. But man, at 100 yards, nothing beats, in my opinion, a 5X fixed power scope. So I would say the sweet spot from 50 yards out to, say, you know, maybe 200. If you're in that range, the 5X makes a lot of sense, particularly over a traditional red dot. Some people may prefer a variable power optic, but again, they're going to be probably even more bulky than this and heavier than this. And in all reality, this is going to be more durable. So let's look at quickly the optic here. You can see how this thing works. So you've got your illumination settings here. So there's your little mark that lets you know what setting you're on. Let me get my camera to focus a little better. There we go. And as you adjust, so if I move it, you know, this way, which would be counterclockwise, you can go either way. So you can go clockwise or counterclockwise. But if you rotate it like this way, which is counterclockwise right now, now I'm on a red illuminated reticle setting 5, which is going to be very bright. Let's see if we can get that to, there it is. Extremely bright, you can see. Outdoors, I usually keep it on 3. That's, to me, is a nice brightness setting for most stuff. Again, sorry that it's out of focus. It's really hard to get this to focus. It's a very crisp reticle, obviously, because it's a etched reticle. And then if you continue to rotate it, we'll go back to off. There's 0, and then we keep going. We're going to go to the green. So let's put it on power 3 for green. And you'll see right there it is, illuminated with green. That's cool. And then if you got it in the off position, you're going to see just the etched reticle. There we go, which is really cool. So even if you don't have any batteries, you're still going to be able to see it as long as there's enough light outside. So that's how that works. You'll see the flip-up caps here. You can completely remove those. So you can see I just removed that if you want to. And there's your focus ring that we saw. So you can rotate that left or right to adjust that for your eyesight. Okay, oops. Going the wrong way there. And again, the front cap should come off. There we go. Yeah, it's just on there a little tight. And you can thread on the little sunshade if you wanted. So you can see there are threads inside the scope there that made up with your sunshade. There it goes, catches, and you just gives you a little better protection when it's really, really bright outside. But it does add length and weight to your scope. So if you don't need it, I would suggest just taking it off. Unless you need it for that situation. It's nice they give you that, though. It's a good bonus. So I'll put that back on there. But another thing I wanted to point out before I wrap this up is your caps here on your windows and elevation is tethered. So they got that little steel cable there. You can see it there. So when you take these off, even if you have both off, there's a little ring, there's a little hole drilled into the body here that it's run through. So you'll never lose your caps, which is cool. I really like that they did that. That's kind of similar to what EOTech does. I'm sorry, not EOTech, Trijicon on their optics. But overall, man, I mean, it's a really great optic for the money. Yeah, I think there are probably better optics that I'd recommend that are prismatic scopes, but they're going to be considerably more than this. This one's a really good price point. If you want one of these, just contact me. Like always, I'll leave my information down below. You can go to my website, which is heartoftexasarmory.com. Or send me an email. I'll leave both of those, that information down below in the video description if you want to contact me to inquire about price. It'll be a really good price. I don't ever mention prices on the videos, but it's going to be an excellent price for you. And I ship anywhere in the United States. So, but anyways, this optic I really like like I mentioned, for the price and the features that it gives you. So I think it's a really good option for people that have a hard time seeing the red dots and particularly the reflex sights. So if you're interested in something like this, I definitely suggest checking it out. I definitely recommend this model. Really like the warranty, the features that it has, and the price point. So it's highly recommended from me. Anyways, if you've got any questions or comments on this, just leave them down below. I'll do my best to answer them. Y'all take care.